Yo, what up? Good morning, GM. I don't even know what day it is anymore. Thursday, March 19th, 2025, 6. Look at that. Another beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good. March Madness kicks off today here in the U.S. Always a fun few weeks. Had a nice little underdog bet last night on this Miami of Ohio team. What an electric game that was. So I woke up feeling good. Check prices, bad prices, but not letting it get me down on this nice sunny Thursday.
I know it is beautiful. I mean, it is really fucking cold. That's for sure. But we're and red. That's what it's looking like on this Thursday. Hopefully, a turnaround Thursday. I haven't really looked at the markets yet. It kind of tapped out yesterday, but gonna be catching up to that. Still the show. We don't have no Mando. He's coming out tomorrow. So we have markets, of course. Not great for the markets. Daily news. As usual, then we'll be joined by our friends over at Walrus. You know, Walrus, our show beloved partners, will be joining us to chit chat about some of the stuff that they have been up to. And then we have two winners. One of the winners from the Yeet giveaway was given yesterday, and then the other one we're going to spin today. So it should be double day of action. And then this show, as usual, is powered by Walrus, a verifiable data platform for barrels in AI and on-chain platforms. And on-chain finance, as these systems handle more money and decisions, the more mission critical this data foundation becomes. To learn more, visit walrus.xyz. Tyler, I'll go to you directly. Where is my media asset? I have a way to put this music on behind the scene here without even being home. Oh yeah, look at that.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis. Tyler D on FOMO hour cause the kid can't miss.
Ready to patch some bears.
Yeah, folks, crypto majors are very red here this morning amidst Iran war escalation and growing inflation concerns. But perhaps a small silver lining, we are rebounding a bit here on the market open. So we've got Bitcoin down 3% on the day, 69,800. It did tap like 69K just a few minutes ago. So it is rebounding a bit. ETH down 4%, 21.35. Solana down 2% at 88. So giving back a lot of those recent gains, unfortunately. I mean, the story, I believe, it really is oil and energy prices. So oil spiked to 98 after escalations in the Warrior State. Multiple energy infrastructure sites hit across the Middle East, and concerns over a growing energy crisis, probably the highest they've been since the war began. We're also starting to see huge spreads in oil across geographies now, with the U.S. having the cheapest oil, Europe and Asia having higher prices. So that's impacting those markets as well. Bitcoin largely outperforming gold. So gold is down significantly, down 5%, 46.30. Well below that 5K level at this point, seemingly as big sovereign nations are selling gold for cash right now. The dollar is up. The dollar basically at 1-year highs right now. So metals are down, stocks are down, crypto is down, slightly outperforming. The dollar is up, oil is up. It's kind of the summary here for today. We had PPI yesterday, came in hot. We talked about on the show. Since the show, we did have a pal give his commentary at FOMC yesterday. No rate cuts as expected. I think one of his biggest lines was basically, we're not going to cut rates anytime soon until inflation starts coming down. With oil prices going up, seems very unlikely that's going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. So folks no longer really expecting cuts this year. I think 18% chance of one cut in 2026 now, and also a 4% chance of a hike. So folks are actually starting to look at rate hikes here in the U.S. I'll share more thoughts on FOMC later on in the show. Going through some of the other macro headlines, TradeXYZ secures their license from the Dow Jones for the S&P 500 index. Hype briefly soared to 43, though sold off along with the rest of the crypto market. Hype trading at 39.30 here this morning. The SEC approved NASDAQ's rule change. Now they're going to be allowed to trade tokenized securities on the exchange through a DTC pilot program. So that's a big one to watch. Congressmen are now saying the Clarity Act has to pass by mid-May or it won't get done. So that deal, the clock is ticking on that deal. Polymarket still has a 63% chance. So still very live. Kraken has formally delayed their IPO plans. While Citibank did downgrade Gemini to a sell. That stock has not been performing well, down about 80% since IPO. And then $2.2 billion in FTX payouts coming March 31st. So perhaps a nice little stimmy there. ETFs saw the first day of outflows, breaking a 7-day inflow streak there. Unfortunately, ETH also had outflows on the day. In token airdrop and protocol news, it was a lighter day. Zcash's hash rate hit a new all-time high, showing more signs of growing adoption. Venice AI announced end-to-end encryption for customer conversations. Rect Drinks, shout to Rect. That Burbs collab sold out in less than an hour yesterday. So nice action there. Polymarket shared a new IRL bar in Washington, D.C. for monitoring the situation. Fun little gimmick there. Meme majors, very red, no surprise. Pretty much red in line with crypto majors. A few aliens was the big mover of the day. Really not a whole lot of action. And if you didn't see that, the U.S. government registered aliens.gov yesterday for some reason. So that spiked the aliens token. And yeah, that's our roundup for the day.
All right. Whoa, that's quite a roundup. Let's go to the markets. I mean, I have to say I'm not used to morning shows anymore. So I haven't really looked at the markets before coming on here. It looks like we kind of hard rejected. But if we go by the charts that I saw a clip made out of the other day when we were talking about Zoran, he kind of said 68, 69K before 80K. So I'm hoping. I mean, our FemQuant said 71, 72. That was tagged. Looks like we went a little lower than expected. But Zoran, the most hated man on CT, unfortunately called it.
It's tricky. So LH, our female quant, says we need to hold 71, and we spend too much time below 71. We've lost the level, and we're probably going to go lower, sweep 60s. That was her view. Yeah, Zora and others kind of calling for this lower dip before we grind up higher to 80. I don't have a strong read, super hyper near term on this. It does seem like broader markets are probably going to continue grinding lower, especially if there's any more escalations in the war. If there's any other energy infrastructure sites hit.
Let's maybe stop hitting those.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a broader sell-off if that continues to happen. I think we saw Besant coming out. He's now exploring taking sanctions off Iranian oil that's already on the water. So they're trying to do some measures to stop the bleeding, it seems. But the bears are euphoric. I mean, they feel like this is their setup to get a much broader correction. And it does seem like there's many more calling for a broader correction, at least in equities right now. S&P selling off. I think folks are expecting it to go significantly lower. But the gold sell-off is probably the most interesting aspect of this to me. And I've seen the theses that this is effectively like Middle East sovereign wealth funds selling gold to have like cash reserves effectively because their income streams are in large jeopardy with the energy infrastructure sites now perhaps unable to produce nearly as much revenue as they had planned for. And that's perhaps driving a good part of this gold sell-off. So gold does not look good by any means. It is interesting to me that Bitcoin is outperforming it so much. And of course, it's weird to say that on the day where Bitcoin's down 3% and it's down 8%, almost 10% from local highs. But it does feel relatively strong here. I think what else is another way to potentially look at this is when Bitcoin was underperforming, we were talking about how Bitcoin's aligned with Trump and the US, gold aligned with China. China was pouring all their capital into gold. The dollar was going down. US seemed weaker. It was tied to Bitcoin and all that. Well, now the dollar is stronger. The US is in a stronger place. Like if you look at these oil spreads and this the fact that the US is a net exporter of energy, largely U.S. is positioned the best. Europe is in kind of a world of trouble importing gas and oil, and I've seen the spreads in Asia don't look great as well. I don't know if this is necessarily like some master plan for the U.S. to put themselves in this position to solve this global energy crisis and to be positioned the best. I did see this fairly tinfoil hat theory here. I'm just going to read this. This is from Dirty Texas Hedge. If you genuinely seriously believe we're about to start the final sprint to AGI, then a war which starves the entire world for energy except the U.S. Becomes cold-blooded realpolitik. So there's perhaps a dark thesis that this is done on purpose as a part of
AGI.
On
Solana.
I don't know that I'm quite there.
Okay.
Yet. But I mean, everyone's throwing out their theories, right? There's a spectrum. There's folks that say the U.S. has no plan and is just totally reactionary. I don't buy that either. I think the first few days of the war were far too orchestrated to say they didn't have some kind of a plan. But I mean, don't love where things are headed by any means, and a lot of uncertainty. Things were priced at perfection across the board for the most part, at least in equities, definitely not as much in crypto. Gold and equities effectively at all-time highs, and now they're starting to retrace.
Let's take a look at equities. Yeah, that's a big dip there. Let's pull up the daily chart. It's better. I mean, hopefully you could see if this is a double bottom and we bounce here. That'd be nice. I mean, Trump's definitely going to try and bounce this market because, kind of needs that while the war is going on. I mean, this is just what, again, we were just talking about it this week, right? Like I kind of was saying, this war is far from being done. I know a lot of the, there's propaganda on both sides, obviously, but they're each saying that they're winning the war, which is funny, or not. But it's definitely not the home run that is kind of being shown in the US, right? And so I think yesterday's gas, I saw this yesterday. I was like, fuck, this is really bad. Maybe I should cut some stuff. I didn't, but again, holding spot, I don't really mind as much. But the hit on the gas refineries and stuff is not good. There's no other way to put it. I'll show you a thread actually that shows you just how bad it is, Tyler. I don't know if I sent it to us, but yeah, I found it. So there you go. It's this one. This guy was putting a thread together. I'll send it again, but basically the LNG supply, right? So this one, Qatar Energy just announced that it was hit, was responsible for like 25% of the world's gas or something.
Yeah.
And it took $70 billion in 10 years to build.
Yeah, I think that those were the growing concerns that this is going to cause a larger, longer crisis are stemming from, right?
Yeah.
So you can't just taco. You can't get to a ceasefire. The ceasefire isn't going to turn the facility back on.
Correct. So like we could stop tomorrow morning. This facility is hit, and it's bad, right? And so this is the game Iran's playing too. It's like, hey, you hit our gas, we'll hit your gas. And then can you blame them? Not really, because they're like, fuck it, it's war, right?
Right.
No matter what side you're on, it's like, it doesn't matter, right? And people know I'm definitely not a fan of the regime. I've been quite vocal about it, but say if you're going to hit the gas from a country, then you should expect them to hit the gas back across. And that was actually shocking to everyone because, and again, shows that Iran kind of is playing a war that people weren't expecting because they're hitting Qatar. Qatar has been like an ally of Iran and the regime. Like Al Jazeera has arguably had the worst coverage of this war because they refused to acknowledge that the regime is bad. They barely covered the 40,000 people that Iran killed in January, by the way, because they've been state-owned Qatar news that is, adjacent to Iran. And now Iran's hitting its friends. So it's a whole. Yesterday it wasn't great. I don't want to be the doomer because I don't know what it means for markets, but 9 countries got hit. Iran's hitting more missiles with more accuracy. Yeah. So we don't want that, guys. That explains these markets, I guess, Tyler.
Trump did come out and basically condemn. He put the blame on it. Condemned the energy side, said they're not going to do that anymore, unless Iran effectively like gets them to do it in some capacity. So he did have an out, unfortunately. But yeah, there was some condemnation of it. Hopefully that pauses it. But yeah, that it was a very rough day. The other macro event we had yesterday was FOMC. So I did watch this one. I didn't, like I said on yesterday's show, I didn't really think it was going to be that impactful of an FOMC. And I would say it was largely neutral. Like we weren't expecting a cut by any means. Folks were just kind of looking to see, like, would Powell say anything meaningful? I think the few meaningful things he said effectively is that they're not going to cut rates anytime soon until inflation starts coming down. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have any signs of inflation coming down anytime soon with oil and gas soaring right now. So it looks like no cuts are coming. I was looking at the CME board this morning. I mean, one cut in 2026 is now 19%.
Whoa.
And there's a 3% chance of a net hike. So highly favored scenario here is we just hold steady and zero cuts the rest of the year. So that's quite different from the outlook we had headed into the year back in Q4 in January. So some movement in the rate cut odds. I think the 10-year treasury is up to 4.3%. So that's continuing to spike. That's bad for mortgage rates in the U.S. So there definitely are some downstream consequences. But on the other hand, people were worried about stagflation. And someone asked him, and Powell basically said, I don't think we're anywhere close to stagflation. He compared effectively the metrics where the economy was at in the 70s, the last time we had real stagflation. Said the numbers don't look like we're anything there. He was actually fairly bullish on the job market. I think that their dot plots showed unemployment decreasing across the rest of the year. He was fairly bullish on the economy. So basically said, not worried about stagflation at all. Unemployment's in line with normal. Inflation is barely above. So he had plenty of what I thought was positive commentary. I think the damage had already been done just on the inflation side and the fact that it's not coming down anytime soon. And I think broader, just the broader energy crisis from the Iran war is outweighing what Powell said at FOMC, unfortunately. So that's where we're at. Tough for the hype bulls. And we talked about in yesterday's show that the major headline, Trade XYZ, got the S&P 500 license. So that's going to start trading. Hype briefly jumped all the way to 43. It was green while everything else was red, but I think just the market too weak, finally impacting hype as well. It came down a bit back at 39.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, still on an incredible run.
What do we are we thinking bear trap?
Well, that's what our quant said. He's traveling today. He's not going to be able to be on the show.
That's what he said. Did he say on the show yesterday? Because I saw him talk about it this morning in chat, but
Oh no, just on Twitter. He tweeted out.
oh, he tweeted it out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because he was talking to the boys this morning, and he was saying, "Gut says bear trap."
Now I'm not seeing it. I swear I saw it this morning.
He must have said it.
I have him on noties, but now I'm not seeing it.
Let's just search bear trap from Mando. Oh no!
Maybe he deleted it. I swear I saw him tweet out bear trap, but I don't want to put words in.
Oh no!
And then we got Jim Cramer saying very oversold. Oh no, things you don't want to see.
Okay, where is his bear trap comment here? God, we gotta find it. We gotta find it.
It was right before he pushed his minutes.
Okay, so it's before the minute. So maybe it was a reply. Guys, we're hunting for the Mando bear trap comment. Yeah, it's no longer there.
Oh no, that's a bad.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! It's a lot of retweets, Mando. Boys,
see on a Thursday morning. I think one of the most interesting charts to me. I was looking at Bitcoin Gold, and that was its bottoms.
BTC GLD. Is it? What's the? How do you? It's
XAU.
BTC XAU. You're right. Sorry, I don't know why I always look for GLD. That gold chart is nasty, by the way. Jesus, what a rejection. Okay.
It's giving me a bit of opium, but we're stretching.
Man, this looks like the Ethereum chart all time.
Oh God, it sure does.
It does, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like, look at this. Hold on, ready? Everybody look at the screen and boom.
Yeah.
Does that mean ETH is going to 5K? It's literally the same chart. This is hilarious. Look at this. Bang. You wouldn't just say I just changed the chart. Interesting. I've seen this a lot, Tyler. I mean, if you find a bottom, that's where you find one usually, right? Or else you're really going to zero. Like, so you could be right. I agree, actually. I think this looks like a bottom.
Next few days will be pretty telling about basically where we're going to go in the near term. If we have another shot to get up to 80, or we're going to revisit, sweep the lows.
Yeah, this looks like 20. Yeah, lows 20. Yeah, it makes sense. I see it. Yeah. Let's see what this one goes. I don't know. I mean, obviously biased, but I don't know. We were doing really good. Like, there's a lot of. It's not like, the crypto market was kind of got battered way before the rest. But I don't know. I thought I still think that we could have that little run in us. Obviously, not a big one.
I think it's gonna be hard with stocks are going down 1.5% per day. I think it's hard to think we're gonna rally, but it is somewhat promising to me to see gold selling off even harder. It does make me think that we front ran a good amount of it.
Yeah, see somewhat of a relief rally on the market over the end of the week and where it takes us. I mean, they need to keep their economy high over in the US. So maybe that's wrong. Yeah, market is spooked thinking oil will go to 200. Yeah, the whole oil. What's oil trading? I mean, that's definitely not great either.
Spread. So like the WTI crude's in 97, Brent's 106. Here I've had on this fairly.
Why is there such a spread in oil? I'm not like an oil expert.
Neither am I. I think it's just basically who's the most dependent on Middle Eastern oil, right? So the Strait of Hormuz it's only like 20% of oil. So this whole crisis is foundationally on this small chunk of oil. The U.S. is a net exporter, so we are not reliant on oil from the Middle East. But it's a global economy, so our economy does, where the stock market takes a hit because of all this. But it does seem like Europe and Eastern Asia, which is more reliant, is going to much more. At least that's my read. Again, this is a little bit above my pay grade. I'm wearing my oil expert hat along with Thread Guy these past few weeks.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's pretty wild to see these spreads. So it seems like, because they're trading like fairly, you can see like historically they've been fairly tight over the last few months. This is a very zoomed in chart, and pretty big spreads. So clearly something. Oh, so this says China and India most pressured. Interesting. Okay, I hadn't seen. There's gonna be more and more fallout from this the longer it goes on. I think is one of the clear takeaways.
This is very interesting. I guess we'll see where this one takes us, but it's definitely not great. I mean, it's all because of it's all war related, right? So we're gonna have to wait, everyone. Yeah, we're gonna have to fucking wait on this one for quite a bit.
If you want to get into some of the other headlines, so the same day that Hype and Trade XYZ got the S&P 500, we did get the headline that the SEC approved NASDAQ's rule change. So they're going to be allowed to trade tokenized securities on their exchange. So I am curious, like the number one question on that headline, is it bearish Hyperliquid, bullish, or is it neutral? And I saw Frank Chaparro commenting on this yesterday. Basically said, like, NASDAQ's not going to offer 20x leverage. So it was a little bit of a tongue in cheek, but I mean, that is an aspect of it. So Hyperliquid's still going to have the leverage. But like if you look at all the coverage that they've been getting, the mainstream coverage over the last month, it has largely been just about 24/7 trading. You can trade oil, you can trade gold on the weekends on Hyperliquid. Does it lose a little bit of that narrative if you can trade it on NASDAQ 24/7? I think so. It's hard for me not to think it does lose a little bit of the shine, but
NASDAQ's not coming on. They're not on chain, right? These markets, or are they?
these would be tokenized. Yeah, so it would be on. My interpretation is on chain. I haven't had a chance to really dig into that one.
I read that take. I saw the same thing as you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. I don't see. Obviously, I don't want to be the one to say, "Oh, Hyperliquid is too big to fail." Right? You never want to say that about anything. I don't see it, dude. Like, just a Hyperliquid become this home of all finance, which is also the tagline at this stage.
Yeah.
With crypto, like you could go from like, it's funny, but Ways of Wang in the comments saying NASDAQ don't got big balls like crypto bros, 70x sold, 100x Coin, but like funny and not funny, like it's kind of like the thing, right? It's like I open Hyperliquid now, okay, and I go to the top, whatever, the top most volume away, and I can bounce from like, I can bounce from Bitcoin to W2I crude to silver to hype, then to Farcoin to Zcash. Like there's something about that, I think. And they're going to keep growing and iterating. And if this is what the product that we have today, can you imagine what product we're going to have tomorrow, right? As NASDAQ and stuff roll out, the CME rolls out 24/7. So I don't know. I don't think it takes it out.
Yeah, and I'm not bearish, and I think it's very bullish as the crypto everything exchange, and it will continue to grow from that angle. I think the question is, the NASDAQ question raises, are you going to get the mainstream growth from a more TradFi user base, or are you just going to grow your crypto native user base? That's the open question for me. So if you're talking about hype at $150, you need some pretty significant growth to get there. And does the NASDAQ alternative stymie that growth a bit? I think that's the open question. Hard to answer right now. We'll see. It's hard to argue with their momentum right now. I mean, everything is up and to the right.
Yeah. It's looking good though. Also, you know how like in crypto bull runs, also there's always an asset that go like,
yeah, well,
like
yeah. So like it's kind of like, where are we going with, we're trading these tokens with their buybacks effectively as securities. So we're taking their revenue into account. Are we going to trade on revenue multiples, or are we going to trade on historic crypto multiples where it doesn't really matter and you just trade momentum? If we ever get a bull market again, we're going to find out. Let's hope we do.
Yeah.
That was from yesterday. There's a little bit of movement on the Clarity Act, it seems. So did an article about this. So covered it in the morning newsletter. I guess Senator Loomis was at the DC Blockchain Summit.
Oh, it's right now.
Said they've got a rescheduled markup for the second half of April. And then this other Senator Moreno basically said, if we don't get the Clarity Act passed by May, digital asset legislation will not pass for the foreseeable future. Congress basically goes home for Memorial Day on May 21st. So assuming you need like a month to have the initial discussions to get the deal done, like that is your timeline. You're working against May 21st. And that's 2 months away. So basically, like they got to get working on this. I did see prediction markets have it at 63%.
Yeah, it's lower. It used to be 70s, right? But during the summit, but 63 is not bad.
It feels high to me still, honestly. Like,
I mean, if you ask Sander,
yeah,
who's boots on the ground, he's at the conference. Actually, he was on the panel yesterday with Eleanor Tourette, Chaparro. Yes. You just mentioned them, and Cole. It was like the journal, like boots on the ground journalist kind of panel. So we were there on the Decrypt side. Apparently, it's a really good one. I mean, shit's still moving at least, from that perspective. But did you see also? It's related to what you're talking about. Dudas, he's meant, because Matt Wong was a Paradigm was on TBPN.
Oh, nice. I missed that.
And can you actually hear
regulatory environment right now?
Yeah.
Can you hear?
I'd say we're in the top 1% of universes that we could have hoped for. So things are going well.
It's amazing.
Like the Genius Act passed.
Yeah.
That's been huge for stablecoin adoption. Obviously, stablecoins were growing even before that, but a lot of the enterprises we talked to, they weren't really comfortable participating in stablecoins until the regulatory clarity. The next stage, hopefully we get market structure, the clarity bill passed as well. There's some kind of last details to work through between the banking industry and crypto. But I'm feeling optimistic that we can hopefully sort through that.
Century shows to.
So I know it's not Clarity Act, but and then Dudas brought it up and said, Genius Act passed July 2025. Stablecoin market cap has doubled since. Everything we said about regulatory clarity is manifesting. SEC, CFTC token guidance, plus Clarity Act is the next great unlock. Golden age of crypto-enabled apps and businesses loading. And Dudas tends to have a pretty good read on what's coming in the market. So here's your hopium.
Yeah, and I think seeing the guidance from the SEC, I think maybe that kind of sparked like, hey, maybe we actually will get a deal done. I think the reason it's important is the Clarity Act is going to put a lot of what's in the SEC guidance into law. The SEC guidance is just that. And I think the problem with it is if we get a different SEC chair in 2028, I think there's concern, like, would they just walk that guidance back or reverse it? But if it's into law via the Clarity Act, that's a whole different ballgame. So that's why you want to root for it to go through effectively. Although seeing the SEC guidance was incredible to see in another major step forward. So yeah, I'm aligned to do this. On
another thing from the scene, I see Mark and Rebecca in the studio, so we'll go to you in a minute. Don't trust your group chats. Did you see that? Did you?
Bring it up, because I feel like it's all, but I'm not remembering the reference.
So this one's great. That was my favorite one. That was my favorite thing I saw on the timeline yesterday or the day before. The U.S. Securities Commission Exchange Commission, investor alert. Investors should never rely solely on information from group chats and making investment decisions. Be wary of any group chats where you receive investment advice from someone you don't know. This is often how scams begin. So group chats as a gateway to investment scam. Let me tell you something. We're batting like 0 for 500 right now in the chat. So maybe this is true.
I only take investment advice from group chats. 100% of my investments are coming from group chats. So this warning was directed at me specifically. Yeah, we could have used this advice a couple years ago. What have you been doing?
So Gary was coming at us from left, right, front, right, and center. He was attacked. Instead of sending a fucking whales notice to Yuga Labs, maybe you should have warned us, Gary, about our group chats.
Man, oh man. Better late than never.
I need in the Mando group chat. Somebody on the chat. The people say they are wrong. Yeah, you guys are so funny. If you read the comments and see the comments on this, you figure that everybody's group chat sucks. It's not just us. Yeah, it looks like everybody, seems to agree here on the group chats. So anyways, I thought this one was really funny, Tyler. Had to bring it up. But anyways, should we bring our guest on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. We got the homie. Oh, we've had Rebecca on before. What's up, Rebecca?
Nice to see you guys. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I get a lot of my investment advice from group chat, so I don't see a problem with this at all.
You must be in the good group chats.
In the very good ones.
Where's the love for your fellow, partners? You guys sponsor a show. There's the Walrus banner at the bottom and everything. And
Thank you.
Where's our invite? Where's our invite to the chat?
Oh, that's another level of partnership that you guys have to work towards.
Tyler, we got to work harder, dude. All right, I'll let the team know. I'll let the team know that we need in on the show. I love the chat. You guys are so funny. But anyways, so look, Rebecca, it's been what, a couple months since we've had you. I don't remember. It's been a few months at least. Was it this?
Yeah.
Year? It was.
I
This
think it was was it like November or something? Was it October, November?
something like that.
Yeah.
It was around when we announced the prediction market stuff with Walrus, etc.
Right.
You know, and we've done a lot. But maybe we could give us, before we get to the questions, like maybe we can give us maybe like an update, you know, for the people who may not be familiar. I mean, the show's growing all the time. So about, you know, who you are, what you do, but also maybe give us a TLDR on how it's been at Walrus lately and in the depth of this bear market.
Yeah. So we are Walrus. We are a verifiable data platform. And what that means is all of the data that is stored on Walrus, you know where it came from, you know whether it's been tampered with, it's always available, it's programmable. So it's data storage plus for this new AI era. Since we last spoke, we've broken, I think, 450 stored terabytes of unencoded data on Walrus, which is pretty huge. We're coming up to our 1 year anniversary. So all of that data is pretty high quality data that we're happy with. We've launched some new AI partners and some sort of big infrastructure partners as well. So Allium being the one I think that launched last week, they've put 65 terabytes of data onto Walrus, which is a pretty massive milestone actually for the whole industry to have access to that data. So that's pretty exciting.
Wow, that's a lot of data.
Yeah. I don't think it's all up there yet. So I think it's continuing to be uploaded as we speak. But really exciting for us is we've proved that the software can totally handle large throughputs of data, you know, big amounts. The node system's working really well. Everything is working as expected. We have managed to get the costs down on small files and optimize a lot of performance. So it's been a good year at Walrus.
I can tell. I mean, you guys are like honestly just killing it. You're partnering with. Also, you have a wide range of partners, which is kind of fun. Like every time, it's like whether it's prediction markets or news or stuff like you just mentioned. It's very cool to see like a lot of different kind of companies partnering with you guys. All right, so I'm gonna take it back to something else. You know, we got a few questions for you, Rebecca. We saw in the last, when was it, Ty? Like a couple of weeks ago, Magic Eden kind of like take their roll their operations back when it comes to NFTs. We've seen Foundation also in the last year. We've seen NFTs take kind of a little beating in that front. A lot of the NFTs that we thought were stored on decentralized, you know, blockchains were actually held on IPFS. I mean, heck, in 2021, every time an IWS server would be down, our NFTs would be gone and fully wiped out. So, you know, we've seen NFTs literally disappear. And I'm not talking about the price, guys. I'm talking about like the actual JPEG over here. And the image would just break, right? It's to nothing behind the scenes. Is this the kind of problem, you know, that you guys built to solve, or is there like something like bigger in play here?
Yeah, funnily enough, you know, we have all been there with the broken NFT image, and Walrus was absolutely created to put data, big unstructured data files, being able to use them on chain. Storing data on chain is super expensive, which is why a lot of these NFTs are actually not on chain and why the link actually breaks. So Walrus definitely solves those problems. It probably wasn't the number one reason that we built it. The big picture is all around data verifiability. So what that means is being able to cryptographically prove where the data has come from, that it hasn't been tampered with, and that with the NFT problem, that it is available when you need it. So that is really important for NFTs, but also very, very important for high stakes systems like AI, like on-chain finance. And as we are seeing, as these systems are maturing, they're making more of the decisions for us. We're starting to move into agentic payments. And once these stakes get higher and higher, the cost and risk of having that underlying data unverified just becomes stronger and stronger. And so that's why we built Walrus.
Yeah, no, it's great. So basically, if you store your NFTs on there, there's no chance of them disappearing.
None at all.
There you go.
Actually, none at all. And it's pretty affordable. So get your NFTs to Walrus.
Well, that's a good question. We kind of never went there with you. Like when you say pretty affordable, like how much is it? Can you talk about that? Like the cost of storing?
The cost actually is determined by the market makers. I can't actually remember what it is at the moment, but it's pretty low. I think it's actually lower than AWS at the moment, but don't quote me on that. But it changes.
Yeah. No, I just went off here just because I was curious because you mentioned that, and I was just curious to see. So you could store all your stuff. This is fun. I mean, it's more like obviously there's way less NFT speculators now than before, but it's like for the people who are more long tail NFTs, art, etc. Like they really believe in like the power of the blockchain for this. It's a great place to. I mean, if I had a huge art collection, it's NFTs probably what I would do. Store him and keep him tucked away for life. The other one, something you guys are really involved with. I mean, you just kind of went there on the AI front, right? So you guys talk a lot about AI lately on the feed. Obviously, follow, so I can see quite a bit about it. You know, where does AI fit in for you? I mean, we have to talk about AI a lot on the show. I think Tyler was talking about AGI again this morning. So we talk about AI a lot. We are integrating AI quite a lot as well when it comes to Myriad, but also on the crypt side actually recently. Why does AI matter for data storage, and why is it something people should be thinking about?
So AI is something we are all extraordinarily excited about at Walrus because we see the place for us as a very integral part of the stack. Obviously, we all know we're all moving at this incredible space towards using AI, and with OpenClaw, you know, the revolution has just started. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm finding myself putting quite a lot of personal data into these systems, and then I wake up and I think, oh my God, what happens like if everybody gets to see this? I wouldn't want to see this. So I'm giving, you know, a huge amount of access to my data to these systems, and I'm giving them more and more autonomy and control over my life. And then everyone's doing that, but think enterprise businesses are also doing that. That's a huge amount of power these systems have. And the problem at the moment is they are all operating in a black box. We don't quite understand what's going on behind. So verifiable data brings you a few things. Firstly, you get training. You can prove what data a model has been trained on. You then get inference. You can prove what model ran, what hardware it ran on. And then for us, probably most importantly, is memory. You can store the agent's context and the memory over a long period of time. Oh. It's speed and performance with privacy. So this is a first in the decentralized world. And what you probably all got Mac Minis, you know, everyone's buying them up because it's on-prem storage because I don't trust the cloud anymore.
Definitely not.
You have a flood or a break-in or you drop it in the bath, whatever, that memory is then gone. And what Walrus is actually bringing you is all of the security of like physical on-prem hardware with the availability of like a cloud storage system. On top of that, you actually have privacy built in with something called Seal that we bought. So it's kind of this hybrid model that is the best of both worlds. And that's why we think we are absolutely squarely placed to be a really important part of this stack.
That's interesting. So there's quite a lot of use. I didn't think of the agent's memory part.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty smart.
I mean, everybody is now talking about how this is a big problem. Agents are forgetting, or I'm having to reload things up, or I'm having to take additional steps to create docs, to put an LM in, to keep somewhere else. So this kind of long-term persistent memory is something that we're all doubling down on. And in fact, I wish it was next week we were talking, because next week we've got quite an exciting product or a SDK coming out, which is quite fun.
It's my biggest personal problem.
Is it?
Is memory. I'm finding myself every day like, did you forget what we talked about yesterday? New rules for how we do this process, and it's reverting back. You hit your chat limits, so you start a new chat, even if it's in the same project. Seemingly it doesn't have any of the memory. Like, it is a growing problem for those who, like, once you get used to these processes and you build them and you spend all this time.
I know.
And
then you lose that work and this friction. We don't need this. We can build that out. You know, we can solve this problem. We have this technology. It's rock and roll. So it's really exciting to have found something that is so zeitgeist and in the minute and solves a problem. And so we're very much enjoying the conversations we're having with agent makers at the moment about this.
Interesting. This is so, like, sorry to reiterate here, but if like Tyler's having a problem right now with this, can you just go on and use Walrus right away? Like, is that doable?
Yes. Yeah, okay. You could. And in fact, I was speaking to George Denizis yesterday. I had asked him to go and vibe code Walrus into OpenClaw, and he found a whole lot of problems in the docs. So he's just got them to, all the docs have now been updated so that they can, your agent can actually do it for you. So yeah, you could go and hack together Walrus and OpenClaw.
Yeah, for all the OpenClaw bros out there and sisters, because I know a lot of people like to use it. Definitely check this out. And lastly, another good narrative. So that's what I was saying. You guys are like kind of like potatoes. You got so much range. You know, you can make vodka out of potatoes. You can make fries. You can make all these different things.
Because I always compare us to flour, but it's definitely a cooking. It's a cooking analogy.
Yeah, there you go. Cooking analogy. Like, I would say potatoes have like the biggest reach, in all. But yeah, maybe flour too.
I don't know. I'd take you head to head with flour, I think.
Well, you can't make vodka out of flour, can you? Unless you can make tequila out of flour. I'm not giving you that one.
Oh wait. Okay, you got me. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go ChatGPT that one.
Yeah, fire up the bot. But anyways, the last thing is where you guys obviously work with us on that is prediction markets, right? They're one of the hottest narratives in crypto. You know, one of the largest, fastest growing. You know, I think it's really prediction markets and stable coins, right? That are two biggest things right now when it comes to crypto, especially in the depth of this bear market. And one of the things that people don't think about much with prediction markets is all the data that goes behind them. They're massive data companies when you think about it. And so at Myriad, we obviously work with you guys over at Walrus for that. Could you maybe explain why that is so important from a data? Because a lot of people could explain, okay, Farouk, like, why do you partner with Walrus on the data side? I know, but I kind of want you to go there.
You're testing me. So all of the prediction market data from Myriad, it lives on Walrus. What do you get from this? The number one reason you do this is so you don't have to trust Myriad, right? Like, you've got a fully auditable trail of what was decided, what was paid out, data that it was based on. So that's extraordinarily important when you're in the prediction market space. You can also prove that it has not been tampered with. This is not something you're doing yet, but it's something I'd love to see, is that at some point another body could use that data, such as policymakers. You know, they could actually use it as historical data to understand what people thought and what really happened. But that's my own little secondary personal use case for that one. Yeah. You guys are in this huge growth area. I think prediction markets are likely to hit, it's forecast to hit like $1 trillion a year or something, and by 2030, like, that's a gigantic amount of money. And in order to grow like that, you need to have regulators who feel very confident that what you are doing is above board, and that they can be confident with the audit trails that exist. And it's this confidence that Walrus gives you and gives them to allow you to grow. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And then, once we have the whole like Oracle solution system in place over at our place, et cetera, like, I think resolution is the most important part of all prediction markets. And so it's important to keep trail of that forever.
right? So
Absolutely. You need to prove that the resolution was correct and as per the oracle.
exactly. So that's extremely important. Well, that's exciting. Anything else you want to share with us while you're here? Anything you're excited about? Rebecca, kind of open mic here.
I am just really excited about the work that we are doing with long-term memory in the agentic space. And so next week, look out on the Walrus Twitter, because I think people will be very interested to see what we're launching.
It's impressive. I mean, you'd figure that for like a data storage company, every time you come on here, you speak about the same thing, but you manage to always speak of something different. So it's impressive. It's, you think like, oh, like what does it do? What does that do? And, but whether it's for the AI's memory or prediction market, Oracle, resolution data, or the NFT stuff, like there's always something. So it's really cool. Congrats on everything, Rebecca. And thank you for coming. And thank you for
Guys, it's lovely to see you.
See ya. Have a good one.
Bye.
All right. That's impressive. I have to say, it's pretty cool. There's always something in the store.
They're going after the agentic space. That it makes it tough.
I didn't know, because I don't really use those things, that you guys have this memory problem. I had no idea.
Well, yeah, when you run these daily processes and then you get used to them, and then one day they're just not giving you the output you want. Like, what are you doing? We talked about this, and it's a growing problem.
And also, like Rebecca, I don't trust the whole cloud shit. So it's definitely not good. But anyways, all right. Let's Charlie, do a spin. So we have yesterday's winner. We do one spin now, right? And then we play for the two of them, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's do that.
Sure.
All right.
Let's get the wheel.
Charlie, let's get that wheel spinning.
Yeah, so we had a long-time listener
Really?
win yesterday. Yeah, so hopefully it's Mark. There he is, digital native. Yeah. Oh, he's here. He's ready. He's ready to go. Mark,
Mark's won like 3 times now, but like over the last 2 years. Mark won back then for the back before we were supposed to eat. Then he won what, a couple months ago here, 3 months, 4 months ago. I remember Mark. He's like one of our top volume guys, I think, on our referral. Okay, yeah, we can't let Mando. I think Mando's on the plane, guys. So
yeah, this is your window to win. Mando can't have his finger.
We don't say the M word around here. Yeah. Oh, Ryan! Let's go. It's Ryan. Come on, dude.
Wow.
Dude, talk about longtime listeners. Another one.
Huge.
We're talking I'm pretty sure Mark and Brian's been listening to FOMO Hour when it was GM NFTs. Few, very few.
What do you guys want?
Barn run. All right. Dude, can you believe the other day the person fumbled a barn run?
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah. All right.
Really want to play lamb chop because we just had a barn run. Like you kind of want to let the.
Well, there's been a lot of games since.
What
are you thinking, Mark?
Yeah, Mark, you're up first. You want to play Omaha? You want to? I mean, we could play anything, right? We could play Plinko.
Yeah, it has to be as long as
it has to be an original.
As long as it's an original, exactly. It has to be an original, so it has to be one of these. Then I don't have a problem with that.
But Mark, you gotta let us know. We're going to have to pick one.
So yes, Omaha.
Let's play.
Let's do it.
Let's give Mark some winners here.
Oops, no, wrong one. We're going to play lamb chop for the next one. Omaha flip. I like Omaha because we've been on the cold run on Omaha, so we're due for hot. I don't know if you remember, but like the last 2 winners were like pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
All right, 250. 250. Let's go. 2 pairs, 6s and 9s. That's an easy.
Beatable.
What do we need here?
An ace or a 10.
Or a queen, right?
Yeah.
Or even a 7.
Queen will do it. Yeah, we have a lot of outs. 29. Come on.
Queen, 7, ace.
Oh no! Come on.
Why? How is it so cold on Omaha? It was like the show's biggest gainer.
Yeah.
All right, let's run it back.
Come on.
Come on, we do a little bit of this.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
King high. Oh, pair of six. Okay, we come on. We gotta win this one. Hey, there's a flush on the board.
Dude, are you?
No way.
Hold on. Let me stretch. I haven't stretched this morning. That's why.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
You...
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm doing it from behind my back. Are you joking?
God, Mark, I'm sorry. So sorry. This was as bad as it gets. Lost to sixes.
Mando?
Really?
Really?
At least
Omaha?
you got $500.
Congratulations. I mean, yeah, you still make $500. So by all means, bad luck. Should we run it back for the next person? Now I'm like, you can't lose 4 in a row.
It's Brian is so due.
Where is he? It's Rec Rug Degens guy, I think, on here. Where are you at? Brian.
We know he's in the chat. What do you want to do? What do you want to play? You got an ice cold Omaha board. Due to revert to the mean. Omaha, go for it. All right, let's go. Can't lose 4 in a row.
Well, I think we're like 8 in a row losses, by the way, Tyler. I'm not even kidding.
All right,
It's like,
let's change our juju. Let's get
okay,
it.
you know what? Let's refresh the screen. Here.
All right.
Let's refresh. Let me stretch because I didn't do my morning stretches. All right. I didn't work out this morning. That's why I didn't work out after this. All right. All right. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start again. 1, 2. Let's do it here. Boom, boom. All right. Let's go. Oh boy. All right. K6.
All right. We can win this. Jack. Oh,
Dude.
ice cold. Ice cold, Mando. This might be our last time playing Omaha for a while if we lose this next one.
I mean, shit, I may load it up and then play my own Omaha if we're so cold. I mean, surely I'm due to be hot. Bro is stretching before gambling. Yeah, I had a long session the other night, like a 3-4 hour session, and I've got all these weird juju, man. I'm telling you. Oh, brutal. Kings and aces.
Oh, that's not.
Yes.
All right.
We fucking did it.
Okay.
We did it. We did it. Fuck you, Mando. We did it. We got one.
All right. You got 940. That's not bad.
We got one. We did it, lads. We're back. We're so back. All right, 940. So we still give away $1,500 today. Could be much worse. So congratulations to our winners of the day. Well, with that being said, Tyler, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out.